Welcome everyone to the OWinners webinar. This is our second webinar. We are so glad that you are here. This is going to be a good webinar. We think you're going to enjoy it, and we are looking forward to showing you what we've got. So we're going to begin now with our hosts. We have Bob Takusi and Oliver Fonte. So take it away, Bob Takusi.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Greetings from Bel Air, Maryland. Here in the Washington, D.C. area. It's absolute distinct pleasure for us to be here today again. I want to thank my brother, Oliver Fonte, who's a co-host with me tonight. Thank all the OWinners who are here. Our steering committee. Thank you, Auntie Lynn. Thank you, Brother Madi, for always, having us at your heart. Thank you to all the Leadership Council members who are here. I will say happy birthday to my brother, Tony Monk, to Mr. Jeffrey Morlock. And of course, today is also Niraj's birthday, even though he's not here. We want to wish Niraj a very, very happy birthday. I want to welcome our two unique brothers in our OTech Pro fraternity. I want to express my profound gratitude for them being here tonight. We're going to, all come up, I think, simultaneously and give you guys some inspiring words about where we are with ONPASSIVE and the goodness of ONPASSIVE, the power of ONPASSIVE and everything. But for now, I just wanted to really express our real gratitude. I think Dr. Bill is in the house as well. Dr. Bill, I hope I'm not missing any senior leadership member who is here, but if I do, in the due course, I'll make sure we acknowledge you. But I think tonight is going to be an exciting one. We have our OTech Pro brothers who are going to speak, and then we have a professional life coach who is going to also come and give us some very inspiring words on where we are. Those of us who are here right now at this juncture, after the closure of the founding positions, those of us who are here are the few lucky ones that have been chosen to be here. And we have a mission, I believe, so we're going to carry that forward. But I'll pass it back to you, Auntie Lynn, to pass it to my brother Oliver, then we'll proceed with the program.
Lovely introduction. Thank you very much. Oliver Fonte, take the floor.
Yeah, hi, good evening and good morning for my brothers that are from in Europe. I want to thank everybody that are here, and today is going to be a wonderful day. It's a wonderful ONPASSIVE show that is going to be here today. We are going to the OTech Pro, who will talk about where we are today. And then we'll have our sister that's also going to come and talk to us, give us some spiritual, emotional, and encourage us, so that we want to spend the money. When the money comes, we spend it, respectfully. And we should not forget that we have our OWinners. I also want to thank the Leadership Council members that are here, Dr. B. William, Jeffrey Marlock, happy birthday, and my brother Tony Mong, happy birthday. And all the OWinners that are in the house, I want to say thank you, and I will leave it there so that we should continue with the program.
Thank you, Oliver. Appreciate it. I forgot to unmute. Okay. Thank you. And now we go on to, let me introduce our co-hosts, Sylvie Wanji and Marcia Mabu. I'll take it to the gallery and we'll have them wave. Wave to us, you guys. These are the ones that greeted you when you came in, and they're going to be the ones to say bye-bye toward the end of this webinar. So thank you too for being here. You're so important to this webinar. We appreciate your dedication. Next, we go on to our OTech Pros. We are very fortunate tonight because we have all 4 of them. And in UK, it is now 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. It's 2:26 a.m. So let's give them a hand just for being here at 2:26 in the morning. I appreciate them so much. So we got Collins Mana and Vincent Ete from UK, and we have Bob Takusi and Oliver Fante, who are both in the United States. So we're going to begin with Bob Takusi.
All right. Okay, hello again. It's good to be here. You know, when I listened or I found out about ONPASSIVE, it was very, very easy for me to understand or to grasp the concept, what it is, because I'm in the industry, I'm in the IT industry. So it was pretty clear, you know, that it was something special. But I was inspired by something else, by a book that I had read maybe about 15 years ago. And those of you who have listened to me presenting ONPASSIVE for the past 2 years, you've heard this story over and over again. But given my background, who I am, where I work, it was easy for me to grasp the concept, the idea. But something in me triggered me to make me see it even better and be more, I would say, interested in knowing more. It was a book I read about 15 years ago. So it's a book, it's written by a guy called Robert Kiyosaki. As you all know, Robert Kiyosaki is someone who is well respected. He's written so many books. He's an investor and a businessman. He speaks at universities all over the world. He makes predictions and they come true. He talks to presidents all over the world. So he's a respectable guy. When I read that book, and as you know, as those of us who read books, as you know, each book that you read, something in that book stays with you for the rest of your life. Something in the book just jumps out at you. So when I read this book, there was something that jumped out at me, which is what triggered me to believe in ONPASSIVE in a way that is unprecedented. In that book, somewhere in the middle of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Mr. Kiyosaki is trying to explain to the audience how wealth was determined in the past 300 years. In the 19th century, it was determined by land. Those who owned the land owned the wealth in the 19th century. In the 20th century, it was the factories. Do you remember the Industrial Revolution? Those who own the industry, the factories, they own the land. But in the 21st century, Kiyosaki is saying this. He's saying that those who are going to own the wealth are those who will own the information. This century is going to be driven by information, by those who have the information. And he says that that information is going to come to you at the speed of light. If you blink, you miss it. That was what stuck in me. And when I listened to ONPASSIVE for the first time, it was presented brilliantly by Mr. Charles Osong, but my background made my mind open more and I could absorb it quickly. When I listened to ONPASSIVE, three things were very evident to me. Number one, ONPASSIVE is unique. There's nothing like ONPASSIVE in the world. It has never been done before. It's unique. It's a unique concept. Number two, technically it is possible. I speak to you as someone who has been in this industry for 24 years. I began my career with a company called Cambridge Technology Partners in Boston, Massachusetts. We did rapid application development all over the country in the United States. So I understand how systems are built. So I say that the concept of ONPASSIVE technically is possible. So number one is unique. Number two, technically is possible. And number three, what does it cost? Virtually nothing. But as I listened to that opportunity, Kiyosaki's book was a flashback. It was just flashing in my mind like a flashlight. Is this what Kiyosaki meant? Remember, this man is a serious guy. He makes predictions and they come true. He's a finance guy, guru. Is this what Kiyosaki meant? Those who are going to own the wealth in this our time are those who are going to have the info. It is information. And that information is going to come to you at the speed of light. I couldn't dare miss that information. So I jumped in and I began to figuring out what ONPASSIVE was all about. I went to the back office. with the help of Mr. Jeffrey Marlock. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Marlock. He had that time, by that time, we had his version of ONPASSIVE at the back office. I went and I read it well, and I understood, I got the concept. So tonight I sit here and I speak to you as someone who's been in ONPASSIVE for 2 years plus now. So we can tell you that ONPASSIVE as a system, ONPASSIVE is the products of ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE is sophisticated. The products are superior. And the systems and the infrastructure is secure. The products, there's no match. The four of us who are here tonight, the four OTech Pro guys, as combined experience we come to you with almost 90 years experience. And we are all testifying to all our ONPASSIVE founders that what Mr. Mufara and our brothers and sisters in Hyderabad have done, there's no match right now in the industry. Let's take Academy, for example. Mr. Ash Mufara is bringing the classroom to every household around the world right now with Academy. Doesn't matter where you are, whether you are in the remote villages of Papua New Guinea or in the remote village of where my father was born in Bamenju in the west of Cameroon. If you have internet, Ash Mufara is going to send the classroom into your household. Combined with our system, our sophisticated systems, our laser, our fiber optic cables, our laser technology, we will get to you. You will learn. Want to talk about OConnect? First class video conference. I use Cisco WebEx. I use Microsoft Teams. We all know Zoom. I can list you just from the top of my head about 7 or 8 different features that are going to shake up the video conference space, but we don't have time for that right now. But I'll tell you one, the first thing, the interface, just the interface of OConnect, what we saw last year, and we know Mr. Ash Mufara is a compounder, he compounds. What we saw last year has been compounded, but what we saw last year, the interface alone, just the interface, just what you see, the visualization. It's like kissing marshmallows, as he says. Remember? That's what it is. Security intact, scalability unlimited, dual screen sharing, auto translator, integration, connection through to YouTube. I mean, we can go on and on and on. There is no match. OChat could take me 30 minutes to explain it to you what I know. OChat is virtually a virtual human being. It's our virtual agent. It's the one working for us while we're asleep. When Mr. Ash Mufara sits and says that there's going to be a day that you will check your back office before you go to sleep. You wake up in the morning, you check it again, you run outside naked from what you see. Something has happened overnight. You have a virtual employee that's working for you while you are asleep. That's the OChat. And then our own net. We want to talk about social media. I've integrated everything about social media. Is it Twitter? Is it Instagram? Is it YouTube? You name it. It's all there. 21st century, driven by the power of artificial intelligence. You know? So we are testifying to all our fellow founders that we are in a good place. But now we are in the next chapter of ONPASSIVE. And our founder, our CEO, has told each and every one of us, he has said that several times, that we should all get engaged, plug in, get plugged in. That's what Mr. Mufara is asking us to do. So tonight, we join hands with Mr. Ash Mufara to tell every single founder to plug in, come in, log in, go to your back office. Information is going to come very fast. Sometimes you need to know something a day before to be able to do something the next day to keep up with the pace. So that's my testimony for us, for these founders who are here tonight. Until then, I'm going to send it back to you. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. There is nothing like ONPASSIVE, period. Nothing closely, remotely like ONPASSIVE. Next, we take it to Collins Mana. You can take the floor, Colin.
Yes, Lynn. Thank you, Lynn. Just want to greet all the founders here. Bob, you are really the man. Yeah, you just spill it all out. I'll greet my brother Oliver. I think Martin Digamo just disappeared, not here. Thank you, Macien and Sylvie, for the warm welcome. Tony, just happy to be in your midst. When we think about ONPASSIVE, some of us cannot sleep. I've been wondering about a lot of things, especially from Saturday, we had the UK event when our CEO came and just blew our mind, and then you start to realize how big ONPASSIVE is. Every day when you think about what you know, and he comes out and talk again, you just realize how massive it is. As Bob said, we have been in this industry for a very long time. We've seen a lot of applications built, bad ones and good ones, and what is out there, most of the CEO, they are just there to make their money. They don't really care about what is happening. It's about money, money, money. But we have a CEO who cares about quality, cares about value, cares about the people, what they will use. And there's a statement I always make, I said, if you prepare a food and you can't consume it, don't expect others out to consume it. So our CEO have prepared a nice food, and he knows this food he can consume himself, means he can sit with his family and enjoy what he has built. This is ONPASSIVE for us. And one of the things I've looked at ONPASSIVE, a lot of people always think about, like when I joined, I look at the system, look at the technology, I know, okay, this will be great, it will blow the world. But then it was just like a digital marketing platform. And everybody was just like, bring everybody in and you'll be successful. But as time goes on, I realized that it is not about the number of people you've brought in, not the size of your team, but it depends on the sales that the company will make on the product we have, products and services. Let's take, for instance, only oatmeal. Assuming normally we came here, just few of us, never introduced nobody. We just came, just single. Just think about it. Oatmeal alone, just say 2 billion people come in for oatmeal just to use our oatmeal service. And each of those 2 billion, say what they will provide for the running cost is $2 per customers. We're talking about $2 billion. $2 billion. We didn't bring anybody in. Imagine, Mr. Ashbofara would have sit comfortably with his family and enjoyed that 2 billion just for a single product. We're talking about oatmeal as a single solution. We know how massive all of the other companies, the mailing system, all those companies providing mailing solutions. We are talking about Gmail, talking about Yahoo Mail, talking about all of those. They are making massive money. They are all multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar company. But we're talking about one product. We have one product, one. They will talk about ODEX. Guess all IT companies will dive in for ODEX because they need to manage their customer retention and everything within a single platform. Airlines will use it. That's the thing people don't know. ODEX is massive. Every company, there's no company, as long as you have customers, you use ODEX. You cannot manage. What will you use to manage? Which system do you have? You need something to manage your customers, their report, their issues and stuff. This is ODEX coming into play. This is a massive, massive billions of dollar company. There is nobody, no company that will take a look at ODEX and will not use it. We're talking about our single sign-on. When they come, they'll meet a lot of products in there. But then we are talking about our success in ONPASSIVE does not depend on the number of people we have, but it depends on sales of the product. Without anybody, you are fine. And that's why when I look at the product, I look at all what we have, unlimited products, because I said, don't even talk about the limitation of our product. It's an IT company. They will continue to build IT solutions and services. We came for a cup of coffee, as we always say, cup of coffee, and they gave us the whole supermarket. Mr. Mufara would have sat back and said, you know what? You came for a digital marketing platform, but now there is oatmeal, pay more. There is ODEX, pay more. There is O-Tracker, pay more. But we are talking about one single amount we pay for the whole digital solution, the whole thing. That is crazy. This man is a generous man. No IT company will do it. I will tell you, most of us who work in the IT industry, the moment a company asks for change request, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've been in that situation. I went to perform UAT testing, user acceptance testing. And the company look at it, they miss something. They have already signed the document. There is no way when you sign, you've already signed your death warrant. And they look at it, they wanted to blame us, say, no, you didn't build this solution. We said, no, we've done what you expected. My director was not there. I was the only one coordinating everything. When we look at everything and they discover that it was their fault, they asked me, what can we do? I said, this is a change request. How much are we going to pay? I don't know. I have to go back and the whole company have to sit back and review everything. I already knew sitting there that this will be massive money for us. That's what we want. That's what we want. As IT company, we want the money so they can pay us. Immediately, I phoned my director. I said, there is something here. What did you say? I said, I didn't say anything, but I know there's a change request because it's not our fault. The document shows that they sign it. They sign what they've got. They deserve it, but now they want more, and this is a change request. Now we are talking about ONPASSIVE here, giving us everything for free. And they will continue to build. As our CEO talk about, we have disruptive technology, disruptive functionality. All this functionality they are adding, we are not paying a dime for it. But we know that our bottom line will be assured. Every day, Mr. Ashford come and make a statement. Honestly, we have to be celebrating. When he said we have disruptive functionality now, I expect all founders to go out jubilating because this is massive for us. Not only for ONPASSIVE, but for us to start to think about what is coming because we will use it as well. The technology, we will use it, and then more money will come. Honestly, I can go on and on and on looking at ONPASSIVE ecosystem, and it's just mind-blowing. Every day the CEO come and make a statement, we go, the tech guy, we analyze it. And there's one thing I want to say in the UK event. I met a lot of tech guys there. Some of them are managers, some of them are directors. They were just like, guys, what these tech guys like Oliver, they were asking Oliver, Vincent was there, Bob. They said, you guys are doing an amazing job. And it makes them now to come out with confidence because, sometimes it's difficult for the guys who are building software to really introduce themselves out there when it comes to technology, especially companies they are not sure of. But when they see their colleagues started talking about it, they dive in and discover that what they are saying is true. It makes them to come out and say, my goodness, I'm a database administrator. I'm this and that. I'm a developer. I develop this, all those type of things. And they are so happy. The bond was really crazy. And this is the beauty about ONPASSIVE because now those category of people have started looking into ONPASSIVE. They will recommend the products and services ONPASSIVE is building to the various companies. This is what I want to say, and I'll leave it there. But thank you very much for inviting me. And I just want to applaud all the founders here that we are so in it and we are so grateful to be in this massive company. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. And I got your point that ONPASSIVE offers unparalleled value to the world. And the validation by fellow colleagues in the IT profession of the OTech pros and of the products that we have. So it's really amazing. Thank you so much. Next, we go on to Vincent Ete. Come on down, Vincent.
Okay, thank you, Auntie Lynn. Thank you for the great job you are doing this evening. Thank you, my brothers, for the initiation of this webinar. My brother Collins, my brother Oliver, and Bob for this great job. And also thanks for our sisters, Marcia and Sylvie, for this great job. Also thanks to all the LC members. Brother Tony, happy birthday. I know you are in the house. So today I will talk about also the inspiration, like my brother Bob said. Thank you for great presentation. Thank you also to Collins for this great presentation. I will talk about the success also. The inspiration is also followed by the success. So the success of our success, I believe for me, is like the hard work. So the hard work coming from what we can see in ONPASSIVE. So the hard work is what our CEO put in place. And then also all the engineering in Hyderabad, what they did is part of the hard work. Also, we also during the webinar, we are also talking about the knowledge, because the success is we have a hard work, we have a knowledge. So what we are doing here, our webinar is the knowledge. So we try also to inspire our people are sitting there or people on Passivian. So this also, the hard work is also combined by the knowledge. So without the knowledge, if you do the hard job, you don't have the knowledge, you're not going anywhere. So what we're doing, webinar, even what we are doing is also part of the knowledge. We're trying to teach people, we're trying to allow people also to know exactly what great job ONPASSIVE have done so far. Our CEO, all the LC members, even all the Pacifian, all together, we have done a hard work. So also we need a knowledge. So this is what we are doing for people to understand our ONPASSIVE, the great product we have there. When you go to our ecosystem, we have a great product. So all this product is also inspired by the great job of some people. So without that job, we wouldn't have it. Let's talk about our data center. In the EQ event, when I mentioned also that our data center hosts about 1 billion customers, not 1 million, but 1 billion customers, is blowing mind, because we know that when this system started, we know we have a lot of people getting to ONPASSIVE. 1 billion customer is a great job, and then there's a lot of work we have done. Then the system is hybrid, so we can do it in the cloud and also on premises. So this is a lot of job. I cannot mention, we have even a dual IP address. There's a lot. When we go to our ecosystem, we check all we have in there, is blowing mind. We have so many things. So it's also opportunity for people to learn, to trying to know exactly what we have in our ecosystem. We have a lot. So this is the knowledge for people to go and learn and know exactly what we have in our system. And then we work all together with our CEO, with our tech bros or the tech guys also in Hyderabad, put a good thing together, because all this work, all this together will make it, and then we can move forward. Without our effort, individual also effort, I think will not be there. So we need also to support our CEO. Even everything we do is positive. Everything we do is good for our company. So attitude, we need also to have a good attitude. Sitting here, we need to have a good attitude. So those people sitting outside there, they will appreciate what we are doing, because we don't want people to have a bad attitude. So when you go there for ONPASSIVE, always have a positive attitude, so that it can reflect the image of the company. People sitting outside there, they can be inspired by what we are doing and what we're doing, because they say, oh, this guy, they are a great guy. They're doing a good job. They have a good knowledge. They have also great attitude outside there. And then the last thing I will also mention, we need also to have a love for God, because when we talk a love for God, it's not God we see, because we see the individual, we see people. So the love of God inspired by ONPASSIVE is OWinners. So this is OWinners. So we will have a money. Our CEO say we have a money, we'll be full, but after that, we need to also bless the rest of people around us, our neighbors, villages, or maybe people in the streets, beggars. So this is also, I will hand it by the love of God. So all this is also meaning, if helping other people, oh bless is the love of God. So we should love one to another. Also, we can love the world, and then we have a better world, and then better life, and then change also some people's life. This is the love of God. The love of God is not only the church, it's only our daily life. Love one another. So thank you, Auntie Lynn. I will leave you here.
Thanks, Vincent. I liked how you covered a lot of ground. You know, it's not only behavior, but attitude and mindset that's important, and also remembering that higher power. So thank you very much. That was excellent. Now we go on to Oliver Fonte.
Yeah, hi everybody. Let me say hi again. Just to give a summary of all what my brothers, the OTech brothers from Bob, Collins, and Vincent. Thank you guys for all what you've talked. And I just want to give a brief summary about everything. Our customers. We are going to respect our customers. This is one thing that the CEO has been preaching, has been telling us, that we are going to satisfy our customers. And when we look at it again, the customers, the traffic, we can have the best products of products. We need that traffic to make the molars, to make the money. And our CEO is a guru for traffic. Our CEO is a guru for traffic. All those who have been with him all this while, even one day when you listen to him, he talks, you know that we have the traffic. ONPASSIVE is going to be the traffic. We are going to satisfy our customers. And then our products also, that are going to be, we are going to have disruptive products. We look at it from AI, embedded, from scratch, 100% automated, and the integration. Tell me which company out there from, we don't want to call names here, that they can stand any of ONPASSIVE products. That is why he keep telling us that our products are disruptive products, and we are going to you know, scatter the market with it. I would like to also advise everybody here as a founder, please, stakes are high now. Your back office should be your number one. Go to your back office all the time, 3 times a day, 4 times a day. I go to mine more than 10 times a day. More than 10 times a day, I go to the back office. And when I go to the back office, update and webinars. Updates, the latest updates that are coming out, I can read up, and then come now webinars. I look at the webinars that are coming, that I can attend. Going out to company where the CEO told us also that our products are going to be it's going to be affordable. Affordable. All these tech companies out there with their products, they are killing the companies. Some companies, or almost all the companies out there, been in the industry also, seeing what they are doing, killing. That come, I'll bring in now the cost benefit analysis about the products and how ONPASSIVE is going to make money, and we are going to like take all the customers out there, because customers, these big tech companies, they go to CEOs like this Zoom, for example, that we are using. They said 100 users, they pay this amount. 500 users, they pay this amount. ONPASSIVE is coming with a flat rate, unlimited. Companies will not pay licenses. Every year you pay licenses. That if you have 50, you have 50 users in companies. Like my former company, we have about how many softwares is based on licenses. In security, is based on licenses. Based on licenses. You know, that is where they do kill. That's where that's where all these tech companies, they kill the industry, the industry, other companies that come and buy their products. Microsoft will come with 360, and they will say 360, when you take 360, you pay this amount of users, 50 users, you pay this amount of money. 100 users, you pay this amount of money. ONPASSIVE comes in now and gives a flat rate and unlimited. Who will not come to ONPASSIVE? Everybody will come to ONPASSIVE. Look at the products themselves. Sophisticated products, security, name it, name it. Everybody want to come and buy all ONPASSIVE products. Like my brother Collins just mentioned, OMail. OMail, that we think that OMail is, our OMail is, you know, if you look at the other OMail them out there, just the fact that we have is spams free, everybody will come to us. Everybody will come to us. We want to look at calendar. You go to the other Yahoo Mail, Gmail, you'll be looking for where you have your calendar. But with OME.ai, the calendar is in front of you. Everything is in front of you. Everything is in front of you. You know, my brother Bob talked about OConnect. Look at all staff also. In the industry where I work with human resource, all staff is human resource product. We have about 4 or 5, 6 different applications. If I want to put in my time, I have another application, SAP. If I want to put in what? I have Pro. If I want to put in my evaluation, I still have SAP. So you open this and you close this, you open this, but now we have everything in one staff. It didn't end there. See how disruptive is this again? Biometric, CCTV, we have it in staff. When you go to employment, especially in the United States, they will tell you that, please, can you go to this location to go and do your biometric? No, now we have everything in ONPASSIVE. You come to human resources department, they are going to take your fingerprint there to do your background check. Now, people who like to cheat, especially I know some people with the federal government, they'll hate me here. That they'll come and they don't work, they'll take coke and put on their mouths. It's there that they are working, they don't work. It can't work anymore because CCTV is now in all staff. You cannot cheat. If you're in front of your computer, it's clocking your time, 1 second, 1 minute. So you have to be in front of your computer for 8 hours. If you come and say you work 40 hours a week, CCTV will tell you no, you did just 20 hours. So they'll pay you for that 20 hours. You cannot cheat the company anymore. Tell me who CEO will not buy. Let me tell you, my brother Bob Takusi, that always when he talks about old staff, he always mentions Toyota. The president of Toyota will sit in Japan, and he can see Toyota United States, Toyota Germany, all the floors, who are working, who are doing what. You cannot cheat anymore. OConnect is there, auto translation. The president of Toyota also be there in Japan, and he's going to have global meetings with all his CEOs all over the world. I will leave it there so that we'll have time to, I want to say thank you again for everybody coming. Please go to your back office all the time. Go to your back office 3-4 times a day. Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver. That was great. Yes, indeed. Our ecosystem of products is wonderful. We have disruptive products, and that can't be beat. There is absolutely no competition, in my opinion. So I think you brought that home to us, as well as your encouragement that we go to our back office as often as we can and stay engaged. All right, so next we go on to our speaker of the evening, which is Dr. Peckham Takusi Makia. Dr. Takusi Makia lives in Dallas, Texas. She has been a pharmacist for over 20 years, and she is a certified life coach. And today, she's going to give us a little presentation, and we hope that she will inspire us, and we think she will. So you can go ahead and speak, Dr. Takusi. You can unmute yourself.
Okay. Thank you, Lynn. What an honor and a privilege for me to be on this platform. All winners, we are in it to win it, okay? We are in it to win it. And like Nelson Mandela says, a winner is a dreamer who never gives up. And all winners, we are here to win it. We are never giving up. I am also a co-founder. I am a founder since July of 2020. So yes, I am a very, very proud OWinner member also. So, but yeah, Lynn, my name is Dr. Peckham Takusi Makia, a certified life coach from the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching, IPEC. And I am also an Energy Leadership Index Master Practitioner which means I coach the energy and I am totally disengaged from the story that my client or whoever is telling me. And I truly believe that the person has the answer. And because I believe that you have the answer, I know all the time that everybody is in always more powerful than they know themselves to be. So I am also a self-esteem expert. I work with people from all walks of life, taking them from insecurity to a revelation of their true identity and the role in which they play in their health, their wealth, their personal development, and their relationships. And the reason I believe in that is because I'm totally sold by the fact that every human being on this planet called Earth to be invaluable. And that's the reason why I am on this platform today, not to impress on anybody, but to impress upon each and every one of us to remember our true identity. I work with insecurity, identity, and invaluable. Our insecurities usually come from our limiting beliefs that we've had in us, usually from our childhood during the first 7 years of our lives, when our theta and delta waves are slow and we easily learn and we grasp all what our parents, our communities, and friends speak into our lives. And you know, some of these things are very empowering, but some of them can be so disempowering. And unfortunately, we carry this throughout our life as we grow into adults, and they have a strong hold upon us. So that is why I work with people, and this is what creates our paradigm, our beliefs that we grow up in. And sometimes you see people grow up to be doctors and great titles, but they can never succeed in life. Why? Because the paradigm, which is found in the subconscious, in each and every one of us, is what is truly controlling us. We have such paradigms like money is not for me, I will always be poor. Such words, they really have a strong hold on each and every one of us. And that is why I'm on this platform here today, in using the CEO's words to disrupt some of these paradigms that have been in our minds ever since we were children. Okay, so today I want to remind us that we are about to have a volcanic shift in our paradigm mindset. Okay, I always like to start my presentations with a poem, because that poem tells it all why we are sometimes held back from fear. The great Bob Proctor, which is of blessed memory, always said fear is ignorance and knowledge is faith. Fear is what usually holds us back from the lack of knowledge. So the poem I'm about to remind us with the words on this platform today was the one I got from the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching, where I got my certification from, and it goes thus. And I'm sure some of you on this platform will know it, so just say it along with me. It goes, I am fear, the menace that lurks in the path of life. I am not visible to the human eye, but I am sharply felt in the heart. The father of despair, the brother of procrastination, the enemy to progress, and the tool to tyranny. Born of ignorance and nursed on misguided thoughts, I have darkened more hopes, shattered more dreams, stifled more ambitions than history could ever record. Like a changing chameleon, I assume many possibilities. I masquerade sometimes as caution, and I am sometimes called worry or doubt. But regardless of what you call me, I am still fear, the enemy to achievement. I have no power of my own, but what the human mind gives to me. I know no master but one, and its name is understanding. And I quickly vanish when the light of understanding reveals the truth as they truly really are, for I am truly nothing. So if you will have the courage to acknowledge your fear, then you would have taken the first step towards having control over it, rather than it having control over you. And if you would take the second step towards understanding, then you would definitely go past it to empathy. And of course, why not love? End of point. So, my dear OWinners, I'm here to remind us that we are being held back by fear. Most people really don't understand what the CEO of this company, Ash Mofara, is all about, because we are stuck in our limiting beliefs. We don't get it. We don't get it because most of us don't tap into the tapestry of our brains to use our prefrontal cortex for it to be initiated, to guide us and direct us through visionary thinking so that we can come out and be creators of our life like Ash Mofara is. So as founders, I want to remind us on this forum today, are we all tapping into this vision? Because we have to. Because if we are founders, which means we are the foundation of this company, like Winston Churchill says in one of his quotes, and which I love very dearly. Winston Churchill says, before you can inspire by emotions, you must yourself be swamped. Before you can make your tears to flow, yours must flow first. And before you must make them have faith, you must yourself believe. My question to us on this platform today is, do we truly believe in our product? Do we have an understanding of what ONPASSIVE is truly all about? Because that is what is going to make us call those several clients that we need to buy our product. The rate at which the energy with which we come forth when we talk to people about ONPASSIVE is going to determine how much we believe in the product and will make them connect with the energy which we come forth with. So I just want to remind each and every one on this forum today that we are in always more powerful than we know. Why? Because it is in our DNA. It is in our DNA. As dreamers, which makes us winners, we have the potential to tap into unlimited possibilities through our DNA. Fear, what does fear do? It holds on to energy in the lower part of our energetic system, which is called the survivor system, where we have the first three energy centers, beginning from the root center to the sacral center to the superior mesenteric plexus area, where we hold all those energies. When we are afraid, when we don't understand, we hold on to that energy, and fear converts energy to particle, and it converts waves to matter to energy, energy to particle, particle to waves. So as we start getting an understanding of what this product is all about, and us buying into the vision of Mr. Ash Mofara, we start releasing some of that negative energy which is stuck. And as we do that, it goes up. It goes up. From the solar plexus, it goes to the heart region, which is where the miracle starts happening. From the heart area, which it generates electromagnetic waves that pulls and makes us become creators and pulling things into being in our lives. It goes up to the throat energy center, which polishes our communication and makes us explain this product better to our clients. From there, it goes up to the sixth energy center, which is known as the pineal gland, which is the seat of where we have connection with divinity. I love the way Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this gland. He calls it a neuroendocrine gland with piezoelectric effect, which simply means that the energy that comes up through this and reaches this gland is able to be converted from mechanical energy to electrical energy. That makes this gland act like, what do you call this? It makes this gland act like an antenna that receives information of high frequency, okay? And I think, and I'm very, very sure that our CEO, Mr. Ash Mofara, was able to tap into that, because to have a vision as great as this by Ash Mofara, it takes someone who thinks as a visionary to be able to tap into the matrix where all the information already exists, because like quantum physics tells us, everything exists already in the eternal now in the form of energy. And from there, it goes up to the crown energy center where we have entrance into divinity, and energy comes down. As we liberate this energy of fear, creative energy comes through our crown chakra into all the other parts of our body for us to now be able to create the life of our choice. People, we are very, very powerful. Let's get rid of some of these limiting beliefs that have held us down for so long, thinking less of ourselves, not knowing that we are a people that have been given greatness by our Creator. The Father, who is the creator of all humanity, placed it in each human being who is on this planet Earth with a purpose to solve a problem for all humanity. So the name that we give to people is very, very important, because whatever name we call everything, or we call a thing or a person, is like a seed, because words have frequency. Frequency carry information, and that information is what you use to bring into being something in your life, which is no doubt, and I'm so convinced, I'm not sure, I'm not surprised that Mr. Ashmofara, whose name means happiness maker, is the CEO of a product like this. What better way can you give to mankind than giving them an opportunity to become independent, financial independence? How much can we make humanity happier? But it speaks in his name. His destiny is found in his name itself. So I just want to remind each and everyone on this forum today that we are all co-founders. We are leaders. We need to lead first ourselves. As we are about to go into this great breakthrough of this massive disruptive income, which is about to come upon each and every one of us, how are we getting ready? Because this money is only going to bring out who we are. It's only going to bring out who we are. Are we going to use this money to serve humanity? Are we going to tap into Ashmofara's vision, like he has the vision to serve humanity, which is why he gave this opportunity for several people who believe in him and believe in his vision to tap into this. So I just want to remind each and every one of us that we got it. If we are in this with Mr. Ashmofara, we are in it to win it. Let us remain positive. Let us remain focused on the vision. Let us not be distracted by things which come, because we know that surely the vision will come to pass at its appointed time. So thank you very much, Ms. Lynn. Thank you, ONPASSIVE. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to come on this platform today. I am very, very glad to also be a founder, an all-winner, and yes, I am in it to win it. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a very, very powerful and educational presentation. I would like to now take it to Bob Takusi.
All right, thank you, Auntie Lynn. That was beautiful. I just happen to have the privilege that that's my sister, Dr. Pickham Takusi Makia. She's my sister. So job well done, sis, and hope we have you more often so you can come, maybe take 10-15 minutes of your time just to enlighten us and encourage us as we move along. I hope that was well worth it. I'm trying to see, I think Tony Monk wrote something. I was trying to find what he said. I know Tony Monk and I have exchanged ideas intellectual at some point, and he likes this kind of topic. So that's good, Tony. Thank you. I'll just add by saying that, Ashmofara, our founder, is his hope, his love, and his compassion. That is why we are all here. You know, he's a compassionate man. He thinks of the people. The people. He wants to uplift mankind. His love, Ashram Farah is love. And he is hope. It is because of the hope of Ashram Farah that we all find ourselves here. He gave us all hope. Every single one of us. I like to go back to the early founders who came. My brother Tony Monk is here, Mr. Moloch, Brother Madi, those who came after. This has been a relay until this point. They believed in the hope of Ashram Farah. Hope. That thing inside you, it is inside you, that thing inside you that insists that despite evidence to the contrary, something better awaits you if you're ready to stick to it, to work for it, says the former president of the United States. Hope, that thing inside you. And we're able to stay along for 4 years. 4 good years. And now we're about to cash in. We took it along all the way up until at 12:09 a.m. Maryland time, which at 3:09 Maryland time, which was 12:09 Pacific time in California, where the last founder came in. Her name is Bettina Lakshmi Devi from India. She's going to be the luckiest founder. That was the last registration. It's because of that hope that we all brought along. Mr. Ashram Farah himself, he told us last week that ONPASSIVE is not wishful thinking. It is not blind optimism. It is factual. It is real. The products that we have, it takes companies years to get to where we are. So tonight, I thank all of you for coming. I'm just going to send it back to you, Auntie Lynn.
That was awesome, Bob. Thank you. All right, at this time, we would like to hear from some of our leaders here today. So we're going to start off. If Marty's available, we'd love to hear from Marty DeGarmo. Are you free to speak now, Marty?
Yeah, I'll try. I had to leave for a while, but I came back just in time to hear this lady speaking, and I went, my gosh, who was that? I looked at the last name, and I said, oh, I got it now. It's in the DNA, isn't it, Bob?
Yes, sir.
But she was talking about fear, and there's a lot of people on ONPASSIVE that walk in fear. There's a lot of people in the world that walk in fear. Thank God, Mr. Mufareh is fearless. And I don't mean fearless walk on a tightrope between two skyscrapers or skydive, or I don't know, he might do that. But I mean, I don't mean that kind of fearless. To take a vision, put all the money he has into it, to build a company thousands of miles away, that's fearless. That's a fearless, fearless individual. Kind-hearted, fearless individual. Because he asked me one day, would you do it? And I said, no, I don't think I could. But he also told me a story as things evolved. If he knew this real bad day was coming, he might not have taken it in the beginning. But as time goes, he's evolving too. So I believe he was the finger of a higher power that was carving through this maze of whatever. And because of his intelligence and being fearless and big-hearted, we all got to hold on to his coattails and say, look, we're going for a ride. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going with you. Now, as time went on, we all learned more. And we started to get that vision. And we've always had that little bit of vision, some of us more than others. What we could do now in the next few weeks before apples start coming in, which they're going to, is get the people on the outskirts, the people, the diamonds in the rough. Bob's sister, for one, I never met her till tonight. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people out there that are stuck in between someone that doesn't care that much and people above that that might. So we got to get them moved up. I'm seeing it every day now in webinars. People pop up and I go, wow, where'd you come from? And you find out they've been there for a couple years. It's just because of where they were or what was going on. I said this 3 years ago and I'll say it today. ONPASSIVE is going to be, well, I didn't say it was going to be $1 trillion business, but I believe it is now. There's enough room at the top for everyone to shine. And if you want to feel good about what you're doing, give away. If you do like that light shining on you, shining on someone else, because the reflection is so much brighter. And you feel better pushing other people to the top. It's a great feeling. Because the more people we get to this core, the tighter part of the apple, the stronger the apple is. But I see it every day. Every day people here are growing and growing and growing. In the last 3 or 4, well, at least the last month and a half, I've seen more new people than I did the first 3 years come up on screen, I mean. Not numbers, there's a lot of numbers coming in, but seeing new people. You know what? They had fear.
No.
And maybe it wasn't as easy to go through that fear. How I beat fear most of the time is I look at the pros and cons. Am I afraid enough to not take the chance?
No.
And the answer is no. Yeah, you get fear when you're doing stuff and we're spending thousands a month on marketing and blah, blah, blah. I want to tell you something real quick. 15 years, we built a system for every company we ever worked in. This is myself, Mike, and Dan. Built a system for every company we ever worked in. It cost us thousands of dollars to build that system. And when we got it fine-tuned, the company disappeared. So you say, well, let's move the system over to this new company. You can't. You branded it to the company you were in. Tony Monk, you know what I'm talking about, wherever you're at. Or anybody that marketed. So when ONPASSIVE came along, I don't care what the fear was. Because the reward was so big, I'd walk through a whole lot of cow manure to get to the end. Because I've been on the backside of this where it's not that much fun. And I looked at people failing day after day after day after day. And then you wonder when you come up to say, I got a great thing you got to see. And they want to hit in the head with a shovel because they've been beat up so many times, time after time after time. We're all very fortunate. And that last lady that got in, if she does the right thing and just follows the plan, holds on tight, fastens her seatbelt, she'll be set free. And so will her grandchildren. She has the same success as we do. We just did it earlier, that's all. But if you see any diamonds out there, you hear them, and something triggers, man, that lady's special, or that guy's special, grab them and push them above you. Trust me, not only do you feel good about it, but it makes you shine even more. I didn't know all this until you do it year after year after year, but that's what you got to do, just push people above you. You know, I said to Ash the other day, I said, oh no, I said it in a meeting, actually. I don't know why I said it, but because I got a big mouth. But I said to Ash, it doesn't matter as much how big your team is. It matters how big your heart is. You got a big heart? Who cares about what size your team is? I know a lot of people here work very, very hard, and they don't have very big teams at all. And I know people in ONPASSIVE that have hundreds of thousands of people on their team. And they're worthless. Not going to mention any names. So my point is, go for the heart, because that's what really matters. Ash read through a list, 75 to 100 people, without pausing, the people that came to his mind. What does that mean? You made an impact. And you think your impact doesn't matter. Oh, I'm just taking care of the chat, John Barilla says. Everyone knows John Barilla. Tech guys, where were they 5 months ago? Hiding on some Sunday webinar. Trying to anyway. Right? Trying to hide. But look at them now. They did that on their own. All they do is push them up to the top. It's up to them if they want to fly or not. Right? You push them out of the nest, flap your wings, you're going to hit the ground pretty hard. So, and they did. But I see it here everywhere. All these people. Lady came on the other day from the Philippines. I was blown away. There's so much, so much talent here, and so many people have something to say. Do not let this platform go by and just make $1 million, or 2 million, or 3 million, or 4 million. Use it to the max. Get whatever you can out of it, because it's only going to get bigger and better. You know French? Get in there when it's time. Teach French. Get courses. My wife likes doing crafts. She can set up a craft class and have a blast. There's something here for everyone. Keep that in mind. There's something here for everyone. And we're on the final stretch now. Don't lose your mind. Tell the truth. If you don't know, it doesn't hurt by saying, I don't know. Because I hear a lot of people say stuff, and I'm thinking, man, I wish he just said, I don't know, because he don't know. Right? I mean, you wish they said it, but they don't. And it doesn't make things better for us. It makes it harder. And by the way, last Monday when Ash came on, he talked for about 23 minutes. When he was done, I realized I know nothing about ONPASSIVE. Zero. He blew everything I thought it was out the window. I was in kindergarten. And he graduated college. In 23 minutes, he blew me away. And guess what? We still don't know what we have. And I'll hear people go, yeah, but Morty, I don't know if I'm going to get my 3. You're not. You're not going to get your 3. You're going to get 300, 3,000, 30,000, 300,000, 3 million. You're not going to get 3. You're right. 100%. 3.
Say bye-bye.
But anyway, bye-bye. Sorry, it's loud here. But really, just listen. We don't have any control over time. Take this time, find your lane, and throw the pedal to the floor, and get the best out of this as you can. I see people doing it every day. Anyway, that's all I got.
That's all you got? No, I'm just being sarcastic. That was fabulous, Marty. I don't know how to follow that, but I can tell you this. You're right. Everybody got to stay plugged in. Stay focused. Don't get distracted by bright, shiny objects. Know what is coming and know that what we know today is less than 10% of what's coming within ONPASSIVE. And I'm blown away with the less than 10% that I know. So, you know, the great things are coming with this company and with Ash Mafara. So just stay focused, people. Stay focused. You'll be rewarded. All right, we would like to go on and hear from a few more leaders. So I'd like to hear from Tony Monk at this time. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Tony Monk.
Oh my God, I don't know how to follow those two people. Dr.
I know.
Takusi and then Marty. But you know what? I'm not going to try to follow them. I'm just going to be myself. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much for everything you do. Appreciate it. And you too, Marty. Appreciate all of you guys. First of all, thank you so much for wishing me a happy birthday, all of you. I really appreciate that. You know, when you listen to the tech pros, oh my God, every time they come on, they inspire you more and more and more. These guys are just incredible. If they're excited, you should be excited. We should be excited, seriously, because these guys know what's going on in the background, right? So it's just amazing. Something Dr. Pikam Tukusi was talking about, and you know what, Bob, you and I and your sister could probably sit around a table and talk to the early hours of the morning. I guarantee you, because it's my subject and I love it. You know how much I love this stuff, right? You know, she was talking about matter. Matter is just energy condensed to a slow vibration. And the slower the vibration, the more resistance your body goes through, right? So I'm sure we can understand what that means if you just read between the lines. But anyway, you were talking about Robert Kiyosaki earlier, Bob, and he was one of my first inspirations to making money on the internet a few years ago. The guy's incredible, really incredible. And I've got a library full of his books here, by the way. And he's an amazing guy. And what he talks about in his books, everyone, is exactly what all of you are here. Okay, he's talking about you guys. Okay, he's talking about the mentality change. The change he's talking about is what do you call it? Selling your time for money, getting rid of the selling your time for money mentality and changing it to creating businesses or joining a business that will create residual and passive income. We've already changed that, right? All of us here. So you are held in high regard when it comes to Robert Kiyosaki. So pat yourselves on the back, because that man is absolutely incredible. He knows exactly what he's talking. He's very successful, by the way. And your sister, Pikam Takusi, was talking about Bob Proctor. I met Bob Proctor in Las Vegas a few years ago. He was a fantastic guy, and he gave me one of his books, and I still have it here. I have a library full of books here, and I follow this stuff religiously. I just love it so much. And I was so inspired when Pikam Takusi came on. I thought, oh my God, she's speaking my language. You know, the language of vibration, that good feeling that you get when you hear somebody, an inspiring person, you know, speaking about that kind of stuff is amazing. Thank you so much, everybody. I love all of you. I really don't have much to say. Oh, I want to say something though. And I want you guys to realize what's coming. Okay, in August, we are going to get OTrim, OTracker, ONet. Okay, guys, OStaff, OConnect. We're going to get off Zoom next month. This is in August, by the way. OConnect, ODesk, and OCademy. OCademy. This is happening in August. And then in September, we're going to get OChat, OPeer, OVirtual, and OPal. And all these products that are going to go out in August, guess how these customers are going to be coming in to use these products? They're going to be using our links to get in. Okay, so we're pretty much there. We have launched. I am so excited, and I know all of you are excited. And again, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I love all of you. Have a good night, and I'll pass it back to you, Lynn. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. And Mr. Mafara is in the YouTube chat on my channel, and he says to you, happy birthday, Tony. Keep growing. So I thought that was really nice.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you for everything you do, Ash. You know how much I love you and how much we all love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Now we'll go to Dr. Bill Williams. You can unmute yourself, Dr. Bill.
Thank you, Lynn. How's everyone? I enjoyed the discussions with the tech guys. It's always good to hear from my heroes. Dr. Takusi, you know, you made me think of the Care Bears and how their heart would just give vibrations out of positivity, love, and all the things that Care Bears used to do when my kids were growing up. You know, Care Bears were the thing. And so that your talk about energy made me think about how we create the force of love and the force of good, the force of everything we'd like to push it out. So enjoyed that. I'm going to talk a bit about diversity of your why. Your why is why you're here. You know, everybody has a unique why. So we have a diversity, not of just people and places and religions and countries and languages. We have a diversity of why we're here. And that always makes a difference as to how people show up. People get excited about different things about ONPASSIVE because they resonate individually with different aspects of it. So it's good to have diversity of the why. And I want to tell you that lessons from history should be learned. If you fail to learn from history, then history is bound to repeat itself, the good ones and the bad ones. And so we don't want the bad ones to return and repeat, right? Remember, I wrote an article this week called The Greatest Reset. And I feel like I've been doing that all my life, is writing articles about things that aren't going well in the world. And there's a reason that we need to change. One of my whys is to rectify wrongs or to point out things that are not equitable. And so if you remember in 1726, Thomas Swift wrote Gulliver's Travels, and he talked about the world condition as a Scotsman, and how the governments of his day were doing things that he didn't agree with. And he wrote Gulliver's Travels as an expose on the practices of people and their attitudes in the governments. And then about 50 years later, an Englishman who came to America was named Thomas Paine. And he wrote a book called Common Sense, which took the side of the American Revolution and discussed why America should break free from Great Britain at the time, because of the serious nature of what was going on with taxation and all kinds of things that the American population was growing tired of from oppression. So as I grew up, I was the editor of our dental school at Medical College of Georgia newsletter. And I had gone to a mission trip. My first mission trip that I ever went to was in 1974 to Haiti. And I ran across a leader in that group that was really doing things that I didn't feel like were ethical. And so when I got back to my dental school, I wrote an article about it in our school newspaper. And then a couple of years later, maybe 15 years later, I was editor of the Georgia Academy of General Dentistry newsletter, continuing to write about the unfair practices where specialists, the few, were taking advantage of the many, the general dentist. And in both those cases, I got some flack from the old guard, but everybody who was being affected by those practices understood that if we don't talk about things, then they're going to continue going along as they did. We have to learn from history, in other words. And so as I was writing The Greatest Reset this week, I was talking about the robber barons and using the historical point of view of what happened with the Carnegies and the Vanderbilts and the people of the Rockefeller era back in the 1900s in America. And then we fast forwarded and talked about how Bill Gates and his buddies, Bezos and a few others, are taking advantage of the situation. And, our economic system hasn't learned that the robber barons can still take advantage by taking over and monopolizing industries and taking the income and just choking out all the small guys, the little guys, until, of course, we're now challenging that with our new king of the internet, Ashma Farth. So I enjoyed writing that article. And the reason I bring it up is because of all the articles I think I've written, posts I've placed. I think that one got more interesting comments than any that I've seen. And it touched a nerve. It really showed me that people are moved when they have their nerve touched. It resonates and they want to speak up. They want to say something. When you feel moved, you're discovering your why. So that's the thing about your why, is everybody who gets emotionally involved with a topic, that's getting closer to your why. And I think it's easy to understand why we all get emotional about our Oh Bless projects, because that's a charitable giving project. And we want to give and do things positive. But we're also motivated by what we don't like, what we don't want to continue. And that's the things that we mentioned in the robber baron story, was we don't want somebody to continue to take all the profits and kind of collect them for themselves for their own purposes, so they can do what they want to do and kind of stiff the world. So it's a good opportunity. And I want to encourage everyone who's a pensman, who can articulate thoughts, go into the history of mankind and look for those areas where people have solved issues, and find a correlation to today that you can write about. People enjoy reading something that is topical for today, but maybe it's based on the wisdom of yesterday. So that's my 2 points, and I'm glad I can share anytime if people want to listen.
Certainly. Thank you for your contribution. Yeah, I did read your comments on that. And I think it did strike a chord with many people. I noticed that exactly. So thank you for sharing it with us today. All right, we would like to now go on to Jeffrey Morlock. You can unmute yourself, Mr. Morlock.
Good evening, and thank
Good
you.
evening. Welcome.
I was having some difficulties earlier with the camera. Turns out it wasn't the camera, it was Jeffrey had a long day issues. You guys have been wonderful, and I certainly have. Can you hear me okay, Lynn? I'm being a little quiet because my bride's asleep, so thank you.
Oh yeah, we hear you loudly and clearly. Great.
Well, I certainly appreciate all the well wishes and the birthdays and that sort of thing. And happy birthday to all the July people here. I mean, man, I didn't know there were so many of us, but thank you for that. I got Key sent me a letter today, and my wife even showed me. Apparently, I've got a Facebook out there somewhere that people are talking to. I thought I deleted all my Facebooks a long time ago, but apparently there's one still out there. So if you guys have been talking to me on Facebook, I apologize. If I've got it out there, I don't know where it is, and I don't know how to access it. So, you know, in listening to everybody, I mean, starting, you know, with Dr. Takusi and then Bob, and then jumping to Marty and then Tony. I mean, wow, Dr. Bill, I mean, all of you guys, you know, everybody has got, it's kind of like when you look at that disco ball, you know, with the light hitting on it, and every one of us are a facet of this ball, and we all have a particular view or perspective, and every one of these perspectives put together help us to get an idea about what the whole thing really is. And as much as I love to get on my soapbox and talk about things, you know, as much as Tony does and Dr. Takusi does about all these great frequencies and vibrations and just, you know, higher self and all that, I think this evening, I'm just going to bring it back home. I mean, Mr. Mufari did such a good job the other day with the round table there with Marty and the gang. And, you know, we've been talking about financial advantage and ONPASSIVE and where we're looking to go. And I mean, he put it out pretty clearly. I mean, you know, there's a lot of us joined ONPASSIVE with the hope of earning a lot of money, you know, and being more successful than we ever were previously, especially if you're a marketer, you know, like Marty and some of the others that have been in it for a long time and know what that market's like. It's a tough nut to crack, you know. But just because we joined because we wanted more money, you know, more things for us doesn't make us bad people. It just highlights our need, you know, the need for an ability to provide for ourselves and those that we love. And that's the big reason, if not the big reason, that ONPASSIVE is here and why we're in ONPASSIVE. And we're all going to benefit. The vast majority of us are going to benefit passively. You know, I mean, the pay structure in this thing is, whoa, man, it's out of this world. It's hybrid, meaning that we're going to have revenues consisting of commissions and bonuses and things like that. There's even built-in structures that are going to be automatically triggered for our benefit within that pay plan. And when you start considering all these and everything that Mr. Mufar has put in it, it's going to be the biggest single pay structure on the planet under one roof or one business, you know, and that is incredible when you think about it, because we haven't even launched yet. And despite our financial outlay or initially in getting this thing going, which is very, very substantial, when we go forward, we're not going to have the expenses that other companies are going to have. They're going to be lower because we started from scratch, right? We built everything from the ground up. That's what we created, how we've created it. We don't have any third-party players, you know, that we're beholden to. You know, we don't have anybody else's work or software in this thing. I mean, nobody else owns a piece of this company. So there are no controller interests in it. And there's no, as Dr. Bill would say, robber barons sitting in there laying in wait to take control or to take over or suck us dry, things like that. And that's simply because we have better tech. We have better innovative features. We're going to need less resources in terms of the infrastructure, and in large part due to the phenomenal AI that he's come up with, we're going to need a whole lot less human resource attributes as well. So when you consider all of these things, it's all to our advantage, and that is that's what makes us superior. That's why you're at the right place at the right time, and we're all going to have a big, fantastic, huge journey ahead of us, and we're going to all share in the financial reward of all this. But really bringing this home, what really makes it work all for us is the fact that we're not basing it all on profits, right, and products. It's the heart. I mean, I loved what Dr. Phil said about the Care Bears. I grew up on those, my kids did rather. And I know exactly, as soon as he said it, I know what he meant, because, it's kind of like when Dr. Seuss's Grinch heart grew 3 times that day, bing, it just popped right out of the frame. That's how the heart of ONPASSIVE comes at you. And the founders, you can see them grow. You can see our hearts. I mean, yeah, a lot of us got in it for the money. And to be honest, I still want some of that money. But man, the journey and the heart and the love and the compassionate action and the lifting of humanity, that's where the magic happens for each and every one of us. So my hat to, it's off to all of you guys, everybody here tonight, all of you founders, all of you leaders, all of you people that have seen the vision, and you cast it in front of you for a path to walk on your own right. God bless you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a founder. And we've all, especially in lieu of the last few days, been looking at independence, July 4th, and there's a lot of types of independence. And as Dr. Takusi said, financial independence is a huge, huge stepping stone to having joyful lives that are much more meaningful than they would have ever been before. And thank you, Mr. Max Mufara, for that. Thank you, ONPASSIVE. Thank you, all leaders, and just thank the founder community. We're it. We're the elite now. I mean, we are the premier position, and everybody's got to come through us. So thank you so very much. Thank you, Lynn, for allowing me to have a few words here. I appreciate that. And God bless each and every one of you.
Happy birthday, Jeffrey. And that was a beautiful share. Thank you so much. We would now like to take it to Bob Takusi. You can unmute yourself, Bob.
Oh, well, what can I say again, Aunt Lynn? Just feel very honored, grateful to be here. I can't wait. For me right now, the most important thing that I'm waiting, that I'm just anticipating, is when our founder, Mr. Ash Mufare, will step out and face the media. Oh my goodness. I know the world is going to turn upside down when that will happen. That's the moment that I'm actually really anticipating and waiting. Can you believe what will happen when Mr. Ash goes out there and sits in front of the media and talk? Remember, he's a master marketer and he's a master in technology. So he's combining the two. When he goes out to talk about ONPASSIVE, then that avalanche is going to crack wide loose, wide open. And the internet quake is going to start. I cannot wait. I can feel it. And now I'm just so excited. Let me send it back to you with what he says, a quote from Ash. He says, "It is time for the greatest shape of your life. The whole world is going to know your name." Ash Mufare. I'll send it back to you.
I've often said that as well.
Yes.
I've told my team and others that, hey, did you know that the whole world is going to know each and every one of you? And they're like, what? This seems so incredible to believe, but it is true. There's just 1.4 something million of us. So that's so few in terms of the total world population. So we're so special. We're blessed. I think we're all in such a great place, an incredible place to be in. And this journey has been beautiful. Ups and downs. I've been in ONPASSIVE since early 2019. but the journey has been worth it with it, like I said, ups and downs, but so worthwhile. Every minute was worthwhile. And I try to hold on to those memories because they're so precious. And of course, we have Oh My Life coming, which is going to help us categorize those memories and pull them out anytime we need them. So I'm really happy about that. All right, I'd like to give it to Oliver Plante, who is our other host, to say a few words before we move on. Go ahead, Oliver.
Yeah, I want to greet everybody again that's here today. And now that we are moving, that we are already in this phase of the journey, that we are above, that our products are above market level and over market level. We should be excited. And it has been a great journey. Now that we are here, and that the CEO also said, like what my friend Bob said, think big. You know, we should think big and reshape our dreams. So the products that are coming out, in fact, the 9 products, then the 3, which will make 12 by September, we are in a very good place and we are fine. We are in a good place and we are fine. So we should be celebrating every day. We should be celebrating every day. Even the last person that joined, the lady, we should be celebrating. Because when you look at ONPASSIVE, at times I shed tears. I don't know how Mr. Ashmufara and the tech guys are doing in Hyderabad. They've done a wonderful job. I think we should give them a hand of applause, because when he said the other day that he got just 2 hours something sleep, I was like, oh my God, this guy has been working and we are going to reap the benefit. Is that not amazing? You know, he has been working for us. And I think people who keep talking, he came and make announcements from Saturday, Monday roundtable. Some people talk stupid. I would say stupid. I'm sorry to use that word. But as Dr. Takusi said, we should be positive in life. We should be positive in life. Don't be distracted. Don't put your eye people who are negative people, run away from them. Run away from negativity. This is not the moment. This is a moment of fun. Mr. Ashmufara himself says so. A moment of fun. You know, we should be celebrating, and it's time for us to celebrate. Every day is a day for us to celebrate, please, the ONPASSIVians, the ONPASSIVE heirs. We should celebrate. And I want to give it back to you, Lynn. Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver. Indeed, this is the time to celebrate. Yes, go ahead, Bob. Go ahead.
Yeah, indeed, time for celebrations. You know, I think we want this webinar to just be about, you know, just savoring the moment and waiting in anticipation of what is coming. You know, that's what it is. Just come, let's just celebrate, you know, while anticipating that seismic shift that is about to occur. I also want to just piggyback on what Brother Marty said about, just to tell you how Mr. Ashmufara's mind is, how great his mind is. Even the last founder who joined ONPASSIVE, I wrote her name down. I have it here. Her name is Batina Lakshmidevi, Devi of India. It was at 3:09 a.m. my time, which was 11:09 p.m. in Pacific time. She has equal opportunity. She's a founder just like every single one of us here. She's going to have the same opportunity. Just that she came late, she did not have the opportunity to build her team as we've done. But Mr. Ash, he believes in a level playing field. That's what he's doing. You know, lives are going to be changed. I'm thinking about the people around where my father was born in Africa, the people of Papua New Guinea. lives are going to be changed. This man is bringing technology everywhere around the world. And he's building it such that it's going to reach. We have reach, we have depth. You know, Mr. Ash Mufara is a very generous man. He's carrying all of us, every single one of us, 1.455793 founders over his shoulder. He's absorbing all the shocks. We don't know what this man is going through. I can just imagine. Have you guys thought, Dr. Bill, can we think of Mr. Ash Mufara, his blood pressure? What that man's blood, I'm sure if they take his blood pressure and they divide it amongst all of us founders, we are going to collapse, we're going to pass out. You know, he's absorbing all the shock, every single problems. We just come, we sit down and we wait. When do we launch? When do we launch? No, there's a process. It's working for all of us, every single founder. Let us also remember that Ash Mufara and ONPASSIVE is about to also infuse trillions of dollars into the world economy. And there's no debt associated with it. That's pretty big. Pretty big. Thank you, Auntie Lynn. Back to you.
Very big indeed, Uncle Bob.
Yeah.
I want to also acknowledge that Ash Mufara is in the, the YouTube chat that's associated with this webinar. And he wants to say to Jeffrey, oh, wow, happy birthday, Jeffrey. Keep climbing. Got that, Jeffrey? That's directly from our CEO. Happy birthday wishes to you.
Yes, ma'am. I got that. I'll tell you what. How the man does what he does is amazing. How he, I don't know how he keeps track of everything, and you know what? But he individualizes it. He just lets every one of us know that we're important. And and Bob, I'm with you. Thank you, Mr. Mufara. Thank you for everything, and many blessings to you. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, Mr. Mufara, it is Marcienne Himabu's birthday. She is a co-host on our webinar today, and I'm sure you know Marcienne. So just wanted to let you know that it's her birthday as well as Niraj Dalby, although Niraj isn't here today in our webinar, but Marcienne is. So we want to wish her a happy birthday. Thank you very much. Okay, now I think we're going to be coming to the end of our presentation, of our webinar rather tonight. We want to thank you for being here. I think this is the time, unless anybody has any last comments, any of our co-hosts in particular want to say anything before we end. Okay, I see. This is the time for our co-host to speak. All right, so we're going to call on Collins Mana.
Yes, Lynn. Flavor and Bob just fired me up and something came in my mind. And I said, no, let me share it before I go. Yeah, on Saturday, Mr. Ash Mufara said something. I know we're talking about pre-launch and launch. And he said, let us remove the pre. So where are we now? We are in launch. Let us remove pre. So pre is already gone. We've been doing pre for almost 4 years, and now we are in the launching process. We have seen this process growing from strength to strength. And the question I always ask myself, and talking to other founders, I said in 4 months from now, normally we've been writing our signature on that product, but I think most of us don't know as founders, because you do the beta testing, you see the products firsthand, we're talking about minimum value products, above market value, and all of those things. What will happen? Have you ever been in a situation where you walk across the street and people are crying for something you were the first person to see? You saw something first, and then 1.5 billion people see it, and the world is just going, wow. I don't know if a lot of us have been in that situation. We have been there because we build software solution, right? We see it every day. And when we put it out there, I've been in a situation where the software we built was used to administer me sitting here. And I was sitting there saying, oh, turn it. They turn it. And I was like, wow, this is good. In the hospital, it was hospital software. And they used it to administer me when I went to the hospital, something I built and I test. And I sat there, you know, even though I was really sick, I was just thinking, my goodness, this is so beautiful. That is the time I appreciate what I have done. So what I'm saying here is something we will have that feeling. When you will walk across the street, hear people talking about ONET. My goodness, and they are talking about the power of ONET, how beautiful the products are. You know what? I don't know how you will feel because I'm not looking at the money. I'm looking at something that you've put in your signature. You saw it first before it goes out. Like someone who built a bridge. I don't know if those who are in, I don't know, in America. In UK here, there are a lot of bridges. You see all those who build a bridge, their names are on that bridge. You know how their children are feeling. My granddad was the one who built that bridge. This is what we are talking about on passive. You, the first person to see. And when Mr. Ashbrook said, the world will know our name. This is the story we are talking about. You being the first person to see a product in the making before the launch. And then when the product will be launched, I'm telling you, when it blows the market, I don't know how some of you will feel, but I think I'll be really, really emotional to be part of history. And this is the type of thing we want founders to understand how massive ONPASSIVE is. That we are just 1% of the world population because we're talking about 5.5 billion internet users and 2 billion people coming only for ONET, 2 billion coming for OPA. And you were the first person to see that product before they launch it. Just think about this, sleep over it, think about it, and let it really sink that you are part of the history. You'll be working and people will be seeing the product. And because ONPASSIVE is an IT company, they will continue to develop products. A founder who is engaged will see it first, put their stamp on it before it goes out. That is the beauty about ONPASSIVE, that you are part of a process before they even see it. So until I will leave it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Colin. Good point. Appreciate you. And we have now Tony Monk who would like to say a few words. Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. I'll make it quick. I know we want to shut down the webinar, but I just wanted to bring up an important point that Marty was talking about earlier about us bringing people to the top and shining the light on people that deserve the light shining on them. A perfect example of someone like that is Ash Mafara, our CEO. Have you ever noticed that every time he gets on the webinar, he always looks for that diamond in the rough and he recognizes people that we haven't even seen or heard of before? I mean, now that is a true leader. That is a true leader. This man is, you know, Ash doesn't like to be praised. I know he doesn't, but I have to say, Ash, you are absolutely amazing. I am so honored and happy to be following you, and I am forever in your debt. Seriously, anything I can do for you and your family, just let me know. I'm there for you. Thank you so much, Lynn. I'll pass it back to you. Have a good night, everybody. And again, thank you for the birthday wishes. I really do appreciate it. And especially our CEO, that really means a lot to me. Thank you, Ash. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony, for your heartfelt words. At this time, we're going to be wrapping up. I'm going to say the thank yous that I need to say. And then we're going to be doing a prayer by Father Blessed. And I'm telling you now, before we get to that point, because if you don't want to be part of the prayer, that's fine. You're free to go if you're not comfortable with the prayer. It's optional for you to be here doing the prayer. So that will be followed by our ending of the webinar. So let's go to our thanks. I want to thank, first of all, Marty DeGarmo, who was kind enough to help us get this corporate Zoom account. I mean, so we have this capacity to have a lot of attendees, and that's a blessing for all of us. So thank you, Marty, for doing that. And thank you for live streaming and recording. That's also a dedicated behavior that I appreciate, because it does take away time from your personal life. So I appreciate you for that. I also want to thank our co-hosts, Sylvie Wanji and Marcia and Hemabu. They're responsible for greeting all of you and saying aloha at the end. And we really need their help. So thank you so much to the both of you. And Mr. Mafara says to you, Marcia, happy birthday, sister. I also want to thank our hosts of this webinar. Those are Bob Takusi and Oliver Fonte. We appreciate you so much for your dedication. I'd like to thank our leaders who spoke today, Tony Monk, Dr. Bill Williams, Jeffrey Morlock, Marty DeGarmo. I also want to thank our speakers. We had Dr. Pekam Takusi Makia with a wonderful and dynamic presentation. Thank you to our 4 OTEC pros. And as you know, UK time is very, very early right now. It's 11:07 p.m. Eastern, which means it is 4:07 a.m. for our 2 OTEC pros who live in UK. And that's Collins, Mana, and Vincent Ete. We thank you for giving up your sleep time for us. We don't take you for granted, that's for sure. And thank you to our American OTEC pros. We have Oliver Fonte and Bob Takusi. Thank you so much. I also want to thank John Barilla. Now, John Barilla is a very humble man. He is a founder, but he dedicates himself to many webinars. He watches the chat. He'll go to the YouTube chats and check what's going on, as well as the webinar chats. And he'll look at the gallery to make sure people's behaviors are appropriate, that their videos are good, you know, within the code of conduct that our company has for all of us who attend webinars. So thank you, John. I know it's a thankless job, and sometimes you get harassed by people. So we thank you for being very resolute and patient with the what you have to contend with sometimes. Appreciate you for that. Thank you to Myra Aquino. Are you enjoying your Zoom background? I think I am. Let me move to the side so you can see. This is Myra's artwork. Isn't it beautiful? There, without my chair there, so that you can really enjoy her artwork. So Myra, I appreciate Myra because she creates her graphic, but she also accepts our feedback. So it's not like she just creates it and we're done. You know, she will give her feedback. Like we said, okay, we want In It to Win It and OWinners to show. Can you move it to the side or this side? Can you move it to the side so our bodies don't block and you can actually see OWinners? So these are the things that she'll do for us at no charge. Her heart is pure and her heart is good. So thank you very much, Myra, because you do this every week for us. We appreciate your heart. Thank you so much. Let me see, did I miss anybody? You guys, did I miss anybody? Sometimes I miss people and I don't want to miss anybody.
Vincent?
Oh yeah, because I said Vincent and Collins from UK. Thank you to them because they're up at 4 in the morning. Right now it's 4 for them. Yeah, thank you though, Tony. Better safe than sorry. So I think I got everybody. Sometimes I forget and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot so-and-so. I want to thank also Mr. Ashmafara because he has been in my YouTube channel chat, actively speaking with the participants there. And I think that's so beautiful, you know, for people to be able to interact with him on a personal level. For them, it's so special. So I really appreciate you hanging out with us. I know you're busy and you cannot always show up to the actual webinar, but just your presence in the chat meant a lot to the people there. So I really want to appreciate your heart for us. It doesn't go unnoticed. I think that is it. Next, we have our prayer. Yeah, I think that's it. So we're going to go to prayer. And after the prayer, we're going to go to our co-host to say aloha to all of us. And then we're going to have an extended period for everyone to say bye-bye to one another. We'll take it to the gallery and then probably to the speaker view so people can wave and get acknowledged because we realized that we didn't have a Q&A today, all right? So let's go ahead and take it to Father Blessed, who is going to give a prayer for us.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you all. Hello, all. Before I make the prayer, when I heard the motivational speaker today and see Dr. Bill Williams, Jeffrey Morlock, and heard about Ash Mufara in the background. I remember 11 months ago, we had a Zoom webinar, and it was a call to greatness. So for me, it is like a replication of that moment today. Thank you all. Now the time for prayer. Let us pray. Lord Jesus Christ, meek and humble of heart, you offer us a yoke that is good to bear, a burden that is light. Accept, we beg you, our prayer and work of this day, and grant us the rest we need, that we may be ever more willing to serve you, who live and reign forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Love you all.
Thank you for that beautiful prayer. All right, now we go to Sylvie and Marcia and our co-host to close it for us, and then we'll have the extended period for everyone to say bye-bye. Go ahead, Sylvie and Marcia.
Wow, 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 wow. Auntie Lynn, let me just quote our CEO and say this. ONPASSIVE is a mind-boggling. It's blowing me out, to be honest. What such a great webinar. Sitting on the chair without fatigue, listening to those beautiful voices, sharings. We are wordless to say thank you. We don't know what to say. Our sister Lynn, you took all your time to say thank you to all of us. It's our turn to say thank you to you for your faithfulness, for your tiredness, a flawless job. Thank you to all the leaders. From Madi to Gamo, we have a big heart to all of you. You are the great example to follow. Yes, ONPASSIVE is really a company with heart. When you do something in love, greatness come back to you. Mr. Ash Mufaro, that founder, our greatest CEO, he showed love. And we promise to replicate that love, to replicate his vision to touch lives that is never seen before. That's right. Look at us here, our diversity, our unity, infinity. Thank you to all the panelists and attendees. Thank you to everyone, OWinners. We really appreciate your time. Those who are in the morning time, we give you a big hug. What can we give you? Nothing than love. We love you all. It is about love. Our CEO humanized a business. Let's talk about that. Let's praise him. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for allowing us to sit here and give you what we know. Thank you for your precious time. We appreciate all of you. Please come back next Wednesday at the same time with the same limb. We'll be honored and grateful to receive you. In this, I'll give the floor to my sister, Marcia, to finish and close the webinar. Love you, everyone. Go in peace. Happy birthday to all of you. All the July's baby, we love you, love you, love you. Thank you so very much. Thank you again.
Go ahead, Marcia, you're up.
I believe it's my turn, the baby girl, the baby July birthday girl. So to everyone here tonight, my sister Sylvia have said it all. We are so happy that you guys came tonight to listen to us. Indeed, we are in it to win it, and we will continue to be in it to win it. We appreciate all of you guys from the bottom of our heart, and we for sure stay tuned, come back next Wednesday. Remember, take one thing home. You have a prescription to go to your back office at least 3 times a day. Monday, in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. That's what I took from our O-Protect Oliver. We are fine. If you do that, you are fine. So let us do it. Thank you guys so much. And to all my brothers and sisters, birthday July, let us enjoy it. We are in it to win it. Thank you. Love you all.
All right. Thank you so much, Sylvia and Marcian. I appreciate it. What we're going to do now is we're going to end, and I'm going to take it to
They have to close the recording, Lynn. The recording
no, you can stay on. The recording can stay on. Yeah, that's fine. Because then people can see themselves on the recording. They can see themselves waving to each other. That would be fun, I think. So we're going to take it to the gallery first, and then I'll probably do it speaker. So here's the gallery, and I'm going to ask everybody to unmute and say bye-bye. Go ahead.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
everyone.
Bye.
Birthday, Jeffrey.
Thanks for being here.
Birthday, Marcine. Birthday, Tony.
Bless you.
Happy
Everybody, great
birthday.
webinar.
Thank you, my babies. Thanks so much, Marcy.
Bye-bye.
Tony, Marcian,
Love
and
you all for being with us.
Say goodbye.
We promise to all of you. Thank you for being here.
Goodbye.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Sylvie. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you,
Bye.
Hey,
Marcy.
Marcy.
So much.
Jeffrey.
Great webinar.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good day, guys. I love you.
Good night, Lynn.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Thank you very much, Mata.
Bye.
How's the playing for background?
Have a good day.
Send Maria go right
Thank
to
you.
Father.
Thank you, John.
Bye.
I screenshot
Bye.
we talk about
Jeffrey.
Thank you, everybody. All of you. Thank you.
Hello, Jeffrey. Good night. See you soon.
Oh, thank you, Coach
Susie.
Lajeli.
Wow.
Bye.
Bye.
Great.
Hey, Sylvie.
Love you,
Sylvia.
Love you, baby.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, bye, Vincent.
We love you.
Everyone. Bye.
There's the best. Hey,
Awesome.
what I know of
Thanks
Nick,
for
I can
love.
back of
At the very top.
Have a great
Still
day.
has
Goodbye.
At the top, at the very, very top.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night,
See you every
everyone.
time.
Honors from India.
Good night to all of you. Good night.
With the happy and Nathan. Bridget. Good
Good night, Bridget.
And you got a beautiful smile.
Bye now.
Bye.
Show us love.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, hello, Greg.
Give back to
Farewell.
community.
Theodore.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Hey.
That is unpassive.
Bye,
Hey,
everyone.
Marinos.
Richard's
Bye.
not here
Hello, my
today.
boss.
So
Thank you for
long.
coming.
It's been a flight.
Thank you.
Hey, God, Richard's
Love you guys. Love you.
Bye.
Fun, y'all.
Oh,
Good
You
morning,
are
everyone.
deserving of nothing less.
Yes,
Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh.
thank you, Cynthia. Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Marcy.
yo.
Y'all
to
have
see
class now. Y'all come back.
Oh,
Thank you for his effort.
Thank you all
Thank
so
you
much.
for all
Stay
the
Good night.
tuned. See you next
Good night.
thank you,
Wednesday.
Jack.
my
Good
amazing.
night,
Beautiful.
ladies.
Good
Good
Thank you,
night,
Lynn.
ladies.
Amazing job.
Good
Thank
night,
you. Thank
ladies.
you.
We're
Thank you,
gonna
babe.
leave
Can't even
now.
leave. I'm
Boom.
so
Love,
happy.
love from
Oh,
this
thank you
time.
guys so much.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yes.
What a
Such a
Come
good
on,
people.
family. What a
goodbye.
family.
It's a
What a
Ruby.
family.
Thank you,
Beautiful.
Yes,
our
Say
CEO.
hello.
Bye
What a
now.
family.
brothers and
Please,
sisters,
our
We're getting no
CEO better go
respect.
to sleep.
Hey,
All
Jack,
walks
Better
of
we're
life.
ONPASSIVE
getting no
brothers and
respect.
Beautiful.
sisters.
Oh, thank you so
Wow.
much.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
Thank
Love
you,
you guys.
Demacia.
Love you.
Birthday
Thank
girl.
you.
Lucy,
Bye.
beautiful. Thank
Oh,
you.
Thank
yes.
you. Thank you,
Thank
Gina.
you,
Thank
Gina.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
day.
Mwah.
Night, night.
Happy
Night,
birthday.
night.
Happy
Go to
birthday.
bed.
Gael.
Diane from Canada.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
We'll
you.
see you
Thank you,
now. Take it
Cindy.
easy,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you
Beautiful.
and good
Love you,
night.
Myra,
everyone.
see you too,
John.
Myra.
Appreciate
Good
you.
night,
Good night
Abba.
from
Good
New
night,
York
all.
Hey,
City.
everybody.
Yeah.
Kim.
Thank you, John.
Good night.
Thank you, Bridget.
Bridget, my sister.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Martina.
Bridget. Love,
You're
sister.
welcome.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
goodbye,
Hey,
goodbye,
everybody.
goodbye,
Hey,
goodbye,
Diane.
goodbye,
Girl.
goodbye, goodbye,
Goodbye, goodbye,
Happy
goodbye.
Thanksgiving
Oh,
goodbye.
thank
again.
you,
Goodbye,
my
goodbye,
friend.
Hey,
goodbye.
Loretta.
Bye.
Thank you for
Goodbye.
Thank
coming.
you, Jefferson.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye, Tiana. I see
Uncle
you,
Oliver,
Tiana.
thank you for this
Goodbye.
great
Thank you
webinar.
so
See you
much. Thank
soon.
you.
We don't get out much.
Oh, yes.
We don't get out much.
Let's
Soon
celebrate.
we will.
Woo-hoo.
We got
I know.
COVID
Yes.
fever.
We continue
Goodbye,
party.
you folks.
Party.
It's a
Goodbye.
day of joy.
Where is our GJ skipper? GJ skipper.
Yes.
Everybody
Yeah, you better
ready,
call
ready
Dr.
for
Dare.
To win it.
heaven from on
Give us some
Calling
past.
beat.
Dr. Dare.
You know it's
Calling Dr.
clouds and
Dare.
rain.
Bye, Loretta.
A
Heaven
day
never
of joy.
dies.
Goodbye,
Celebrate.
goodbye,
Party
goodbye,
You'll
online.
be
Be
goodbye.
my
watching
friend,
Bye,
Lynn.
falling
everyone.
out of the
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
girls.
sky.
Bye.
A
everyone.
year of
Know
love
that
and
I
your
think everybody's
celebration.
grandpa
drinking.
We
is
need to win it.
upside
Yes,
down.
And of
Baby,
course,
save it
Good
for a
night. Go
rainy
to
day.
bed.
what about,
Good
Sunshine and
night.
what about everyone there
flowers.
too?
Thank you,
Having
sir.
a
Thank you
passage
so much.
today.
Thank you,
Everybody,
Thank
ONPASSIVE.
you.
hello,
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Ashma Farah. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
on
Myra.
Mustache
passive.
Thank you,
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Myra.
Owen.
Pastor
Everybody.
I love you
Farah.
Thank
Oh,
all.
you
when
for
you
life.
feel
Family.
Oh,
like you're
everyone.
A
drifting
pastor.
under
You
a
all.
I'm telling
tree,
you.
We
there'll
Love
are
be
you.
ready
apples
for
Wonderful.
the
plenty
greatest
Forever
day
forever
not
of
from
tonight.
on
our
that
lives.
Oh,
Lord.